Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, guys, welcome to today's call. Shout out to every single one of you guys that decided to be part of this trial. This is something that can definitely, change a lot of people's lives. And if you're here, it's because of different reasons. One, someone invited you, and you're like, "What the heck is this, bro? Okay, I'll do this." Two, just lit up on someone's story, deciding to learn more about this because you're wondering what is going on right now in this market conditions. And another one, it can be like you have a little bit of experience, but you haven't been able to succeed or get any type of result because you're still learning and probably you haven't even find out the right community or mentorship. So I just want to give a huge shout out to every single one of you guys that have joined on today's call. And trust me, this is going to keep on getting better and better. But before we get started, I need everyone in the chat, right, to go ahead and drop what city or state or even country you're representing today. Let me know inside of the chat. Ohio in the house. Perfect. France in the house. Texas, Dallas, Sacramento, California, Dallas, North Carolina, Cincinnati, Nevada, Reno in the house. New Mexico, Modesto, California, Reno. Let's go, let's go. Guys, this is a beautiful thing about community, right? Being surrounded with like-minded individuals. If you're here, it's because you're looking to grow, right? And you meeting strangers are gonna be your biggest supporters. Type a one in the chat if you agree with me. Strangers will be your number one supporters. And guys, thanks to this business, I've been able to see a lot of success. But before that, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Drop a 7 in the chat if you guys can see my screen. Perfect, perfect. Awesome. So here it is. Junior, can you please go ahead and admit everyone or make someone else co-host as well? So guys, on today's call, right, we're going to be doing about the trading foundation. And as well, this is where you guys can start taking notes, right? Number one, we're going to be going over what is investing versus trading because a lot of people get confused with this. They don't really understand. They're more knowledgeable when it comes to, uh, what is just investing, buying low, selling high, right? So we're going to cover that. Number two, we're going to cover market structure. Even if you have experience, maybe you still get confused with this. So we're going to cover this in the most basic way possible for you to understand. Number three, risk to reward. Number four, we're going to be showing you some examples. And by the way, a really nice example that happened this morning for New York session. Okay. So before anything, let me introduce myself, guys. My name is Miguel Minero. I'm 28 years old, right? And I've been doing this now for 4 years and 8 months. Before this, I was a school bus driver and a business owner. Since 2018, late 2018, I started a mobile bartending business with my mom. And that's what helped me, do part-time school bus and do the bartending full-time. And then I found this in 2021. Shout out to Junior that put me on. He's my mentor, someone that you will hear from on Friday. So make sure to, stay till the last date. He's the guy that introduced me to this. Having zero experience. So now I need you guys to type in the chat if you have zero experience or have less than 3 months of experience. 5 in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. I'll drop a 5 in the chat because that's when I started. Okay, Alejandro, less than 3 months. Okay, perfect. Nova, let's go. Who else in here? I know we have a lot of people in here. It's just probably you're kind of shy. There you go. Now we see that. Okay, perfect. So guys, the thing is that you don't need to have a lot of experience. We have built the system for you. We have built something that is going to help you understand from the most basic to the most advanced. Right? So this is a little bit about myself, right? I do direct sales as well. And now I'm one of the co-founders here with Empower House and as well as an admin here as well in Leader. So guys, that's a little bit about myself. I'm not here to talk about myself, but let's get to it. This is where you guys are going to start taking notes, guys. Okay, remember that note takers are money makers, but only if applied. So guys, this is what we're going to cover in here, right? Investing versus trading. Now, what is investing, Miguel? Well, this is more of a long term, right? It can also be, short term, maybe a month, 6 months, a year, the rest of your life. It's just up to you, right? But this is mostly more of a long term. And this is where you buy something. You can buy a stock or a crypto and hold it for years, right? And you're gonna let it grow slowly. Type of one in the chat if that makes sense. An example is buying an Apple stock or Bitcoin today and keeping it till you're retired. That's how you're gonna be able to, see some money coming in. Obviously, if it goes down, you're gonna be negative. Obviously, that is investing. And let me show you an example in here. Okay, I'm gonna show you an example. I'm more of a visual person, right? When I started this, obviously, if you see something like this, it's gonna make zero sense. But let me just go ahead and show you an example of what is investing. And by the way, tomorrow, you don't want to miss tomorrow's session because that is what's gonna happen. Now, can someone tell me what happened in 2019? Let me know in the chats what happened in 2019. What happened? COVID, right? And most of us, if not everyone, we did receive what? A stimulus check, right? How much was it? Over 1,000, right? Now, here's the question for everyone. What did you do with that money? Because we're gonna go back in time, okay? And this is just an example here. Apple. Probably most of you guys have owned an iPhone before, or you own one. If you have a Android, we cannot be friends. I'm just joking, right? But this happened. Look, during COVID, the market, what happened? What happened with the market? It was crashing, right? I'm gonna go to the weekly time frame so it makes sense. This is Apple stock. And we touched, which is like 53 bucks, 54 bucks. Now, everyone had their stimulus check. Obviously, some people needed their money, but also some people, guess what they did with their money? They wasted it on dumb stuff, right? Now, let's just say you would have put out of those $1,200 from the stimulus check, what if you would have dropped it here on Apple? And you would have hold it. What happened to the Apple stock after that? Is it going up or down? So this is investing. Let's just say you've been put $100. And over time, you sold it, let's say $200, because the all-time high is like $260, right? But let's just say it was only around $200, around here, right? If you would have waited 1,547 days, which for you are going to be like, damn, that's a lot of days, bro. I don't have time for that. Well, your bank doesn't even give you 1% a year. That is our reality. Everyone has a savings account, but we do not make money right there. But let's say you would have just invested only $100 out of your stimulus check. You would have made 257 return. Way more than what your bank will give you. Now, let's say you would have dropped your $1,000. How would that look like? Right? So this is on Apple stock. Now, let me go ahead and do Bitcoin. Who knows about Bitcoin? Tomorrow we're going to be learning a lot about crypto. But let me show you right now crypto, right? And I do have an example for you guys in here. In 2020, right? Bitcoin was about $6,000 to $7,000. With 1,200, you could have bought roughly 0.18 Bitcoin. It doesn't mean you have to buy the whole coin. Okay, guys? This is a bit of a thing about investing. Bitcoin already hit 100K this year. Right now, it's sitting at 111,000. The all-time high is above 120. That's turning 1,200 into 18,000. Drop a 7 in the chat. If you knew about this, you would invest in your stimulus check. Drop a 7 in the chat. If you would have done that. Now, why do you think most of us didn't do this? Because of what? No knowledge. And lack of education, right? So this is why it's important to get educated. Now, does it mean Bitcoin now is just going to keep on going up? Long term, I do see this going higher, right? But this is investing, guys. Now, let's go ahead and do trading. You have trading regular and leverage trading. And I'm going to go on this a little bit quicker. Now, trading is for those people that are more impatient. I am more impatient. Drop a 6 in the chat if you're impatient. I'm very impatient, right? Okay, a lot of you guys, you're like, damn, I want to get money quick, Miguel. Like, what the heck, bro? Like, I'm not willing to wait 1,500 days. Okay, so for those people that also like to make, some money in a short period of time, you can do trading. And trading regular, it means short-term focus, quick profits, buy and sell stocks, crypto without leverage. An example, you buy a Tesla at $240 and you sell it at $250, you profit $10, right? That's it. But for those that do know, now top of 7 in the chat if you've been leverage trading. Leverage trading, guys, remember this term right here, leverage trading. This was a big changer for me, right? You can borrow money from a broker and exchange, right? Which is you're going to be learning here with us how to do that. And you can multiply your gains. Obviously, it can be a little bit riskier, yes. But with the right knowledge and being disciplined, you're going to understand why later on risk to reward is going to make sense. An example. 10x leverage, right? With $100, you have 1,000 position. If price goes up 5%, you gain 50%. If price goes down 5%, you lose 50%. You're gonna be like, Miguel, I'm not willing to take those risks. I get it. But like I said, we're gonna get into examples. Now, next one. Now, guys, if I show you this, okay, for everyone that is completely brand new, and even if you were not really new, right? Let me know if this right here, okay, looks confusing for you. Type up 1 in the chat if this looks confusing to you. For me, it did look confusing when I started. I know we have some people. You're like, Miguel, what is this? This is a whole new language, bro. Like, I don't think I can understand this. And trust me, I was there. I saw this and I was already complaining to Unir the first day. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I can do this. But then I remember that I was studying physics, calculus, and chemistry in university, everything in college, everything at the same time. Right? I didn't even mention that, but I'm a dropper from university. So I was like, you know what? I was doing that. And I made no money with it. What if I can learn this? The thing is, guys, that all these numbers, all these candles, these are called candles, they can be intimidating. But the cool thing about this, there's what? No formula, guys, here. Right? No formula. the only formula, basically, no physics, no calculus, no math, none of that, right? It's all about patterns. Can everyone type in the chat patterns and technical analysis and fundamental analysis, right? You're going to be learning how the market moves. And this is where I need you guys to take notes on as well. Market structure. Now, what is market structure, Miguel? Well, remember that the market moves in waves, right? As a trader, you want to ride those waves like a pro surfer. Now, let's make an example. What is the surfers doing when they're trying to surf? They're waiting what? For the perfect wave. For the most part, they're patient, waiting for the wave. It's not like they're gonna go ahead and get on every single wave. So you need to be able to identify certain waves, certain patterns within the market for you to go ahead and jump in. It's not like guessing, but you looking at technical analysis and identifying market structure is 50% of the battle. But once you are able to properly understand, and all confirmations will fall in place nicely. And now, let's go ahead and be more visual, Miguel. But before that, I need you guys to write down these terms. Or also you can take a screenshot of this. Higher highs, which we're going to have it as HH. HL is going to be higher low. LL, lower low. LH, lower high. And then two more terms in here. VOS, breakup structure. When a low or high gets broken, we will use the term VOS. Parenthesis over here. Trend continuation. And I'm going to show you examples like I said. Now we have CHOCH. This sounds funny, right? So it's going to be easy to remember. CHOCH. Or CHOD, change of direction. However you want to write it down, they both is the same, right? Change of character. This is very similar to a breakup structure, except this is when we shift the structure and trend. And in parentheses, sign of trend reversal. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take notes on this. You can screenshot this if you want. And for those that stay till Friday, I'll make sure you get this PowerPoint as well. Now, uptrending. Remember this. When the market is uptrending, we always start with the letter H. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher low, higher high. This is uptrending. And if you see this right here, right? We have a VOS. It breaks the structure over here. And then again over here. And it's continuing what? The trend. We're going higher. Higher high, higher low. Now, let's go ahead and do the next one. Downtrending. Write this down. When the market is downtrending, it's going to start with the letter L. Creating lower lows and lower highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low. And every time it breaks a lower low, we have a VOS, breakup structure. Why? Because it's continuing what? The trend. We're going lower, so we call it VOS every time it breaks. Type a 5 in the chat if it's making sense. I'll be the most basic possible for you guys. Awesome. For those that are participating, I can see your guys' name. I got you at the end. Now, the third way, consolidation. Guys, this is when the market is just moving sideways, right? Creating equal highs in here. We're going to call it equal highs and equal lows, which is our support and resistance. Or you can also call it what? The floor. This is my floor, right? Floor and ceiling over here. Okay? That way you can remember support, resistance, equal lows, equal highs. There you go. Now, This is where now it gets more real. This is market structure, but this is the difference between breakup structure and change of character. I need you guys to follow on right here. The market is creating higher highs and higher lows. You see this right here? We're going up, down, up, down, up. What is this? Breakup structure. Why? Because it's a continuation of the trend. And then what happens is, type in the chat, what is this right here? This is what I'm drawing right here. What is this? Let me know. What is this right here? What do we call this? Who was paying attention? Pause? I mean, no. Consolidation. There you go. Consolidation. Yes. Perfect. Which is our support level and our resistance, equal highs, equal lows. And then what happened? We broke structure to the upside. It's still BOS. Why? Because it continues a trend. We're still going up. But then what happened right after? We created what? A lower low. Now we have a change of character. When the market goes from uptrend to downtrend, this is what happens. Now we started what? Downtrending. Creating lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And now again, we have what? Breakup structure, breakup structure. Why? Because it continues a trend. And then again, what happens here? Consolidation. Right? And then it breaks to go lower. VOS. But then what happens? We create a what? A new higher high. Now, from downtrend to uptrend. Like I said, this is the first sign of trend reversal. Is it going to happen all the time and go like this? No. But for the most part, right, higher time frames, which I'm going to cover in a little bit, is going to respect the most. So this is how the market moves, guys, in three ways: uptrending, sideways consolidation, and downtrending. I'm going to clear this out and let me know. Type a 7 in the chat if this made sense. I wish when I started in 2021, they broke it down to me like this. Right? This is market structure, guys. These are like the basics, but one of the most important things. This is 50% of the game. To understand it, the market is gonna go up or down. And I need you guys to remember this, okay? When the market is uptrending, all we're looking for is buying, right? When the market is downtrending, all we're looking for is selling. This is for trading, not investing, okay? This is for trading. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the next one. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. And let's go ahead and do some examples over here. Okay, let's do some examples. Let me go ahead and do... Let me see if the daily time frame. I just want to show you some examples in here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. I need you guys to see this right here, okay? Look what happened. The market creates higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And then what happened over here? What is this? A change of character over here. What happened? The market. We started what? Downtrending. We went lower. We went lower. But then what happened again? What is this right here? What is this point right here? A higher high. We have a what? Another change of character. You see this right here? And then it drops. Higher low, higher high, and then boom, we continue going up. Does that make sense? This is the market. I know it might not make any sense because you see all this candles. You're like, Miguel, well, this is hard to see. I'm like, I understand. You got to train your eye. But a way to understand how the candles, better, like the structure, instead of having candles, you can put the line. Now you can see it more clear. This is a hack, right? That you guys have access to. The line chart, and then you have the candles. Okay? Let's go ahead and do another example. Because I really need you guys to understand this, right? Like really, really need you guys to understand this. Now let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Right? Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. And let's go ahead and do okay, let's do this example. Okay, we're gonna do this right here. This is in the 1 hour, okay, guys? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then what happened over here? We changed character over here. See that? And then what happened with the market? We started what? Downtrending, creating lower lows and lower highs. See that? So these are just examples that you're going to be able to identify, right? Once you go through the basics. But I wish I had someone that explained to me this like this. Like more visual. I'm a visual learner. Are you a visual learner? Yes, no? Right? It just makes more sense. It's not just candles, but I'm like, okay, now if I close a little bit of my eyes, I can now see in the graph. Right? So this is the cool thing about what we have in here. We are visual learners, and we understand that if someone completely brand new, just like most of you guys, start with this, it's going to start making more sense. Right? Now, let's go ahead and do the next one. The next topic is risk to reward. Guys, this is a game changer. This is what closed me into learning this. Everyone type in the chat RR. This is what really closed me into wanting to learn more. Because let's keep it real in here. Who likes to gamble in here? Who likes playing cards, casino, poker? Okay, we have some people, right? I like to play poker, blackjack. I love Jack Black. Okay, so we have some gamblers in here, right? Now, being completely honest, what are the odds of you winning gambling? 50-50. And some of them are not even 50-50. I am a conservative gambler. Okay, cool. It depends. Okay, it depends on what type of gambling, right? Slot machines. What about those? Who likes playing slot machines? 1 to 50. Right? So, guys, the thing is, right? Probably you like to gamble, but you're probably gambling in the wrong, in the wrong space. Everything in life is a gamble. Type of 1 in the chat if you agree with me. What if you can understand more about risk to reward when it comes to investing and trading? That way it starts making sense to you of if you get education, if you develop yourself to be more disciplined, not be greedy, take care of your capital, you can see a lot of progress within trading and investing. So risk to reward. Every time you put money in the market, you take a risk. Yes. If someone tells you invest, you're going to win all the time, they're lying. They don't know they don't know shit about this, right? So you really need to be aware that yes, you invest and get into the market. Your money is a risk. But what if You learn the technicals and fundamentals, and you learn more about this, and then you're risking less. So here's an out. But the goal is to only take trades where the possible reward, which is the profit, is bigger than the risk. An example, will you risk $10 to make 30? Will you risk $10 to make 30? Me, all day long. That is my rule of thumb, right? If I don't see a setup that can potentially give me 1 or 3, I do not take it. I used to take 50-50s. For me, a 1 or 3, bang, it makes sense. 300% return, solid. I'm sold. I'll take the setup. And I'm going to show you why, okay? Now, let's get more visual. These are, risk to reward ratios. Out of 1 to 1 is 50-50. We already know this. Out of 1 to 2, I'm risking $10 to make 20. It is better than risking 10 to make 10. But what about 10 to make 30? I'm in, right? I'm in. Now, we're going to do an example, right? Give me a second. Where's my graph? I don't know where's my graph, but let me go ahead and pull this out for you guys. I got you guys. I don't know why my graph is not here, but I do want to show you guys this right here. Give me a second. Okay. Type of 1 in the chat if you guys can see my screen over here. Perfect. So look, risk to reward, right? If you want to be profitable out of 1 to 1, you got to at least win 60% of your trades. So 6 out of 10 for you to make money if you're risking a 1 to 1. If you go to the casino, if you're playing something that it might be 50-50, then you got to win 6 out of 10 to be profitable, right? Out of 1 to 2, a 40% win ratio, you're already profitable. Out of 1 to 3, with only 30% winning ratio, you're already profitable. Now you understand why my rule is 1 to 3s or more? Do you see this right here? Right? Out of 1 to 4, 20% I'm break even. Out of 1 to 5, with only 2 trades, I'm already in profit. And now, let's go ahead and do another example over here. This is, guys, what happened, this morning. Now, can you guys see my other screen? Top of 1 in the chat if you guys can hear my screen. Perfect. So, examples. Risk to reward. You set up a trade where your risk is $10 and your reward $30. But we're only going to take 10 trades total, right? We only taking 10 trades total. That's it. For the week, we only taking 10 trades. Let's just say the first 5 we take losses. We're negative 50, right? It's an example. The next 3 we win, right? That is $90. And then the last 2 we lose. So if we win 3 trades, that equals $90, right? 3 times 30, 90. If we lose 7, 7 times 10, 70. Am I profitable? So do I have to be the best trader in the world, Miguel? No. I just have to be very careful with my money and not be greedy and take the loss as it is. But following what? Minimum of 1 to 3. And this is here within Powerhouse. We're strict on that. And when you get started here, right, we're going to be helping you understand the 1 to 3 risk to reward. That way, you don't feel bad because you lost 7 trades and you only won 3. No, because I already told you, if you only win 3 out of 10, you still made money. Okay? And let me show you today's example. Now, in the chat, okay, because I know we have people from Powerhouse. Drop a fire emoji if you made money this morning with indices. Okay, I see you guys. I see you guys. We called out this setups, right? Boom, morning session with Miguel. I did a morning session in Spanish for the Latino community, and we took this trade, right? We did take this trade right here. And this is an example, right? This is US 30 in here, guys, for you guys. And here it is. Now, I'm going to show you guys this. And we are going to go back in time so you guys see. It was barely 6:30 a.m., right? When this happened, I was doing a call at 6 a.m. Pacific time, right? And we were patient. We weren't executing right at 6:30 a.m. No, we let everything happen. Then the market goes up, 6:49, 6:50, 7 a.m. And I told them, look, it broke this high. What happened in here, guys? Going back to market structure. What is this right here? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And what happened over here? What is this right here? For everyone, a change of character, yes, happening here. But what is this point right here? A what? A higher high. So, can someone tell me, what does it mean? What is the first sign of what? Buys. Trend reversal, right? From going down trending, was now we're going to go up. So, I told them, hey, we're looking at this setup over here. We can potentially take this trade out of 105 minimum, right? Will you risk $10 to make 50? Let me know in the chat. Will you risk $10 to make 50? Now, we did this live in the morning with the squad. I had someone from Mexico, right? From Jalisco, Mexico. He made $6. Now, for some of you guys, that might be a little bit of money. But imagine those $6 maybe be 60, maybe be 600. It just depends on how much money you have in your account. But it was a 1-to-5 ratio. And then what happened with the market? Let's go ahead and play this out. The market comes, right? It gets us in. We're in the trade already, okay? And I'm going to walk you through this trade so you understand what I mean with this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this. This is an example that happened this morning, like I told you guys, okay? And I'm going to show you proof right now where we send it out, okay? At this point, we're in the trade. Now we're in profits, right? We are minimum out of 1 to 2. You guys see this over here? Risk ratio 1 to 2. At this point, this is what closed me, guys. Remember, risk to reward closed me to learn this. At this point, this was your risk, right? You see this red number over here? And your trading app, you can modify your risk to break even. Basically, you can do this. You can go here. At this point, you're not risking any money. Everything from now on is profit. This is what closed me. You are in control of your profits. Either you can take out your trade right here or wait till it hits a 105. It's up to you, right? And then what happened? The market kept on going what? Higher. Now, what can I do now with my stop loss, with my risk? Guess what I can do? Now I can secure profits. Let me go ahead and move my stop loss over here. So now everything, all of this right here is already money secure. Money in the back. If the market decides to come and get my zone, it's okay. I already secure money. You guys understand this? I want to be very basic with you guys. And then did it hit a 105, Miguel? Let's see. Let's see if it did get that 105. Right there, 105. You guys see that? Okay, let's go ahead and play this out. Okay, it went lower, and then what happened? Boom. Did it hit the 105? Now, to not cap on you guys, because some of you guys are like, Miguel, I don't know. I don't think this is really true. Guys, we do this. Here it is, right? I want you guys to see this. Oh, the laptop. Let me go ahead and charge this before anything. Okay, so here it is. Jose Cruz. He had a $30 account. He made $5 with this trade. You guys see this US 30? Now, how much percentage growth is that in one trade? Who's good in math in here? If you had 31, let's say you had $30 and you made it to 35. How much percentage growth is that? Anyone? That is more than 10% in one trade. More than 10%. 15%. There you go. So we do this, right? Here it is. We had to send it out, right? I had told them we're looking at NAS 100, but also then we were like, en compras on buys on US 30, 8:55 a.m. We send it out. It was in the zone. We send out the play, and then what happened? It was in profits, and then you guys saw what happened over here, right? It didn't play out nice, and I wasn't the only one. And him, it was the whole chat over here getting profits this morning. So for those that plugged in, you guys already know. Guys, that was just an example of what's possible, right? You're learning a skill set like this. And like I told you guys, this is what closed me, the risk to reward. It might look easy because I'm doing it, I'm explaining it to you guys. I'm like, oh, Miguel, boy, it's easy for you. I'm going to keep it honest. Right now, you have it easier than what I had it almost 5 years ago. Why? Because we didn't have a system like we have right now. We didn't have the education that we have right now. We didn't have the experience. So we were like, how can we make this easier for the newest individual? There you go. We created a blueprint for you to follow, right? And last but not least, right? I do want to bring someone in here that is very, very special for Powerhouse. Neri, are you there? Neri, are you there? Let me find Neri in here. Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to pin you in here, right? And then I'm going to pin myself. Junior, can you make her co-host, please? Cool. So, guys, Neri Banks, it's not only a top leader here within Powerhouse, but she's one of the most studious persons I know, and with the most results. And where are all my ladies at? Let me know in the chat. Where are all my ladies at? Where are all the girls at? I know a lot of you guys look up to Neri. And I do too. Why? Because she has amazing results. She's a business owner, right? She's a part-time job as well, corporate sales, which is amazing. She's making commissions. She's a trader and investor for 5 years. And she's an admin in here and leader here within Powerhouse. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I do want to bring you up, Neri. Let us know, right? Introduce yourself real quick to everyone, even though, yes, I did bring up your profile right there. So go ahead and follow her, right? But Neri, talk to us. How you feeling today?
I feel great. I think it's great day so far. got a lot of stuff done, trading in the morning, and now we're here. So it's an exciting thing to actually see everybody that's really taking the skills serious on here. So
Awesome. So I have some questions for you, right? First of all, how old are you? Where are you from? And why you decided to learn this skill set?
okay, I don't know why I'm laughing, everybody. I'm laughing because Miguel always brings big smiles to my face every day. Every time I every time I talk to this guy, it's always just like just laughing and things like that. But I am actually 23 years old and I live in Dallas, Texas. And it's pretty, when he said studious, it's pretty interesting. He said, because I'm over here trying to do two things at once as he's going over this. I'm actually on another trading call right now. So it's like I'm listening to both ends and then taking notes at the same time. Now, I don't recommend that heavily because I say just do one thing at once. But I'll definitely say that I started this because number one, I think a lot of us are here to say, I want to make more money. And if you truly believe that the skill set is there with the that type of outcome, I think you won't stress too much with your life about this, saying like trying to rush things to happen for you. Because 5 years ago, I think if you would have truly, truly told me, say, hey, what is actually your story? I was probably one of those people that was actually afraid to get started. Um, and that's just the truth of it. I mean, I'm not saying to convince you, this is just the truth, my truth, and take it how you want, but I actually was really, really close, like in about 1 hour whenever I got introduced to this to actually let it go fully. And it was because of scarcity. My hourly at the time, 5 years ago, was pretty much $7.25. So it's like for me to see $1.97 pretty much within few minutes, many people clown on it, but they didn't really understand why I really was like crap. Like I see a negative $1.97. And a lot of you guys probably think like, well, it's only a dollar. But I saw money and my time attached to it at the same time. And I was pretty much at my lowest point, and I was working and working and working and working and working. But over time, I realized that really the biggest thing with inside this skill set, it's like yes, you can pretty much not put yourself in a position to actually say like, I'm gonna risk all of my life savings on here because you don't. By the way, don't recommend that at all. If it is, then we will stop you just because there's different other ways on how number one you can practice on a demo account. I wasn't that person. I went straight for it because the moment I said "Okay," like I knew this stuff worked, I was willing to go all in. But that was probably the wrong way to do it. And this is before the system pretty much was created, but I just knew the power behind it. And I knew if I was going to quit this, then I quit everything, no matter what comes my way. And I knew it for a fact. Like if I literally let this go, everything that pretty much comes my way that scares me, I was going to quit as well. So it's like over time, I realized that as long as I really stayed committed to this, I was really going to be able to level up and not only just the charts, but as well just as a person, you know? I'm only 5 feet in person, guys. So when people say they look up to me, I usually make a joke saying like, "Oh, like they don't really look up to me. They look down on me because I'm only 5 feet." But when people say like they look up to me, it's interesting because we all have the same thing. Literally, the moment that you have access to everything, you will have the same thing that I use. You have the same thing that pretty much Miguel uses and everybody else inside this call uses. The only thing that will separate you from the other person, not that it's competition, because it's really you versus you, as corny and cliche as that sounds, is the fact on how committed can you stay to this. You don't have to be too obsessed. Maybe like for maybe there's a someone that wants to go like as hours and hours and hours, but I think you can literally beat the person or the old self of you if you just stay committed and just stay plugged in daily basis. Because you'll be surprised that the moment you start this, even if you decide to kind of put a pause on it and try to technically let it go, you already know that there's a way out and you already know train's engraved into you. So it's just kind of something that stuck with me forever and why no matter what happens, like if the world crashes and as long as we got Wi-Fi, I think we'll be okay.
Let's go, let's go. Guys, drop some 7 sevens for Neri Banks. Appreciate you for everything. And one last question, Neri. Right now, right inside of the platform, who's someone that you would recommend to everyone in here to go ahead and study inside of Zenrai?
Well, it depends on two things. You as and I would say make sure like you kind of take this in serious. I'm about to say is depending on which road you want to take, whether it's the stocks, whether it's crypto or day trading, you have to pick which road you want to take. Again, stocks, crypto, or day trading. Once you have a pretty much a road you want to pick, for now, let's just say day trading, since today's the topic of that. Really there's two things for beginners. You have people who is like Nina Santiago, someone that has number one the most accurate trader, but number two is the fact that she is very visual just like myself. So if someone is like you want to be the beginner phase, I would say her. After that, if you're more intermediate, Zachary Hogan as well. And one, if you're that person where you're just like no, but I want to know the depths of the depths of more advanced people, is Jordan Morgan for sure for my personal favorites because those are the people that I actually truly learn from. And to this day, like, stay truly committed to those guys because they have 10 plus years of experience. And even if when time goes by, when I hit my 10 mark year, they're going to have 20 years. So it's like they're going to be super advanced. And I just like to have that person that's just smarter than me in the room just to know, like, hey, there's still more to go. So.
Awesome, guys. So for those that are already part of Powerhouse, she mentioned three educators, right? Everyone in here is professional, but if you're beginner friendly, Nina, and easy strategy and profitable strategy in your intermediate, then Neri mentioned Zachary, which he's right here, and then more advanced Jordan Morgan. Guys, this is what we have. Appreciation, Neri, for everything that you do for the squad, for the community. I know you're studying right now, so shout out to you because that you provided that value to Powerhouse. Guys, Neri hosts calls for Powerhouse as well, Zoom calls, and she breaks down things like no one. And if you're a girl, you're here, use it as inspiration. Even the guys, because I use her as my inspiration. Like she's someone that has results that I'm looking for to get as well. And I appreciate you for everything you do for the squad. And I'll see you inside of the chats. Thank you, Neri. Let's go, let's go. So now, guys, last but not least, okay. Well, before that, drop a 7 in the chat if you've been learning something today. You're like, okay, now it's making more sense. It was friendly beginner. Okay, I see a lot of sevens. Let's go. Right? I see a lot of sevens. Shout out to every single one of you guys. Right? Guys, tomorrow though, we're gonna have something very special that you don't want to miss out. If you think today was good, wait for the rest of the week. But tomorrow we do have a special, topic because some of you guys been wanting to learn more about crypto, right? And here it is, guys, right? Tomorrow, same time, same channel, right? You're gonna be able to learn more about crypto investment fundamentals. So I need you guys to go ahead and share this. Go ahead and be here on time. Go ahead and take notes. Write down questions on the side. That way something doesn't make any sense, we can go ahead and help you. And as well, Junior just dropped a free Telegram chat that everyone in here has access to right now. And I'm going to go ahead and drop it again. But guys, go ahead and join that chat. It's on Telegram. It's totally free. We're going to be dropping the call in there as well. And for those that got emails, you're going to get an email with all the details as well. But guys, with that being said, right, we appreciate your time. Make sure to join our next session tomorrow, same time. Link will be sent in Powerhouse free channel. Thank you guys. And guys, remember this. I need you guys to remember this though. If it's not this, then what? And if it's not you, then who? And if it's not now, then when? With that being said, guys, I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's get it.